Gamar Joba Mego Brebo, Modi David Khochak Vedra. Dear students, today it's my pleasure to introduce you our instructor, Kristiyan Mladenov. Hello, Kristiyan.
Good evening, Nadezhda.
Kristiyan will be leading CompTIA Security Plus, and today you will be able to learn more about his experience, more details about the course, and the certification benefits. Kristiyan, please tell our students more about yourself, your experience, and how many years have you been working in IT industry?
So it has been a long time, and I hope it's going to be a long time more for me. So I initially started my path in IT right after I finished high school. And I started teaching back in the same high school that I graduated from. And I started teaching networking courses there while being a student in the university in the same time. Once I finished the university, I was also able to teach the same networking courses as a part of a university program. And the courses were focused mainly on the C-School version of CCNA. At some point in my teaching career, which started before my practicing career, but yeah, everyone has his own path. At some point, I started preparing students for national competition in networking that we have. And I was pretty proud because those kids, as if I was not a kid back then, but yeah, those kids managed to win the competition in a fierce battle with other high schools in the country. So I think I have managed to spark something, spark some interest in them, so that they could prepare and master the networking field. At about the same time, I also started practicing the things that I was trying to learn to teach the others. I started in a company that was dealing with systems integration, but due to the small market that we have, we had a huge variability in the projects that we had to deliver on a daily basis. So it was not uncommon for me to deal with multi-million data center equipment one day, and then on the next day to be dispatched with a rotary hammer to mount a TV on the wall so that it can be used for some video conferencing solution. So it was basically a small company where I could do it all. Well, at some point I decided that I have seen networking, but I want to do something more. I want to specialize. So at that time I had enough money. So I quit that job and went on to pursue a master's degree in a Dutch university, which was Systems and Network Engineering, specializing in advanced security. So that's when I did the switch from pure networking to security. And since I graduated that master's, I have been dealing in the security field, initially as a security engineer, rather on the defensive side, and I have switched to the offensive side quite recently. So I hope I would be able to tell stories from both sides of the fence.
Yes, thank you very much. And how do you think, is information security popular nowadays, and why?
Well, it's a hot topic because everyone is relying on more and more digital equipment and wants to use digital assets all over the place. So we are connected more than ever. We are sharing more data than ever. And that data needs to be secure. And the devices that we use also need to be secure.
According to your personal observations, what is the demand for such professionals? Is it high or low, or maybe rising?
Well, it's constantly rising, and I have read the research recently, I think a few weeks ago, where someone said in the research that there are 3 million spots free for security professionals worldwide. And that's the current situation. We are sitting on top of a huge vulnerability that was just released last week. So the last weekend has been keeping people on fire to patch all the systems that are vulnerable and prevent exploitation of that bug. So yeah, even as we speak, the security world is on fire.
Okay. What about the CompTIA Security Plus? Is exactly this course popular nowadays, and who is the target audience for this course?
Well, this course comes somewhere in the middle of the portfolio of courses that CompTIA has, meaning that it's not an entry-level course, but it might be considered as an entry level for security professionals. Having said that, it means that it relies on some background IT knowledge, like you have to know how to use a computer, and you have to have a basic understanding of networking. But then the course comes and helps you to build upon that knowledge and enrich it with security topics. What I particularly like about this course is that it's more or less vendor neutral. It means that it doesn't focus on teaching you how to do a given thing with a given tool, but it gives a breadth of tools that you can use, and you can learn how to pick the right tool for the right job. And that's one of the things that also made me switch towards CompTIA, because I have also, I mentioned that I was teaching Cisco courses back in the time, and although they are good, I think they're the best start in terms of networking. They are not vendor neutral, and they teach you how to do stuff with a particular device. It's not bad per se, because most of the vendors that know that Cisco is good at network technologies just make some sort of a dictionary. I mean, you know how to do something with Cisco, then this is how you do it. Well, if you take this line of command for Cisco, then there is the command that we use in our networking equipment. But yeah, getting back to CompTIA, what I like particularly about the courses that they present is that they are neutral, and they teach you how to do stuff from multiple perspectives, not only Windows, not only Linux. They even have some network operating systems in the labs, so the students can touch everything and play with it.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's talk more about details about the course. For example, what topics will be covered and what practical exercises will it include?
Yeah, so we are focusing on a few topics, which are we start with security tooling that we need to defend our networks and defend our systems. Then we discuss a few of the tools that the bad guys would use in order to get inside our network and compromise it. We spend time on identity management, which is also a hot topic right now, because there is a huge switch going on in the world right now that most of the people want to go passwordless, so that you don't need to remember those strings of symbols to get into your account. There are multiple other methods that are getting popular right now. And we are also talking about policies that we have to keep in the work environment, and we are also learning how to get those policies created. I mean, you cannot blame someone that he has done something wrong unless he has signed that he would follow some policy that that the security team has created in the company. It's the same like obeying the law in the country that you live in.
Can you share your screen and show some examples of exercises that students will be working on?
Sure. I'm not sure that I have the sharing right, sorry. Yes, I do it. I do have it. There we go. You should be seeing a screen that lists some of the labs that we have in the course. It's a new course. I mean, I think it's from it has been updated quite recently, in the last year. And the update cycle is also keeping things up to date. I mean, every 2 or 3 years we get new content that's relevant. We drop some irrelevant content, so we go on and present most up-to-date stuff. The total lab time estimated by CompTIA is 12 hours of labs in this environment, where we see some labs which are assisted and we see some labs which are applied. In the applied lab, you can treat it as if it's an open exam question, which means that the lab itself has some fields where you can fill in your answers and get an understanding of whether you got the technology right and you are able to fill in the answers right, or you have to read more. So yeah, we were talking about scanning the network, vulnerability scanning, installing, using and blocking malware-based backdoors, network reconnaissance, certificate lifecycle. We are learning how to use OpenSSL. We are trying to crack passwords to see if those passwords are secure. We are talking about authentication methods with credentials, access controls in Windows servers, auditing system policies, managing system and access control in Linux, and much more.
Mm-hmm. So you will be doing exercises every class session?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about those exercises is that they are not bound to the lab session itself, which means that the student can revisit the lab at the point of time that's in the future, and even try to bend the assignment a bit and try to see what would happen if the student does something that's not written in the assignment itself. But yeah, you can step on those labs that are prepared in advance and play a bit more with the tooling that's inside.
Mm-hmm. And they can add this in their CV, like they were working on several labs, to show the employer that they have experience with such labs.
Yeah, especially I see some employers that are listing some tools that they want their future employees to be familiar with. And I see a lot of matches between the tools that we see in the labs in here in the CompTIA Security Plus course and some of the job listings that fly around. So there is an immediate mapping one-to-one between the tools that we learn here and the tools that are required on the job. Yeah, of course, the volume of stuff that passes through those tools is quite a bit different. I mean, production environment is quite different than the lab, but this lab environment gives the safety net for the students to experiment, and if they break something, they can just restart the lab and try again, which is not the case in the production environment, because if you break something, usually someone is on the phone quite quickly, and yeah, you have to.
For example, if student has some problem with lab, how he or she can get help from you?
Yeah, so if the problem is raised during the lab time that we are all together in, then we can have a one-to-one session and we can discuss the problem that the student has. I have a very powerful tool in the background as well that I can take a peek at what the student is doing at a given moment, so that the student doesn't have to share a screen with me, because I can make an overview of the current lab situation and the current screen where the student is experiencing the problem, so that I can help spot on and not ask multiple questions before we get there to the help.
This looks very helpful.
Yep,
to have
indeed.
such functionality. Okay, do you have to show something more, or we can stop sharing?
Yeah. Do you think it's the right time to show the career path suggested for this certificate, or we'll get back to that later?
No, okay, we'll get back to this later.
All right.
Okay, just stop sharing. I will ask you some more things. Okay, thank you. And let's define the prerequisites for this course. What skills potential students should already have in order to get the most from this course?
Well, we mentioned networking, because each attack more or less hits the network. So you have to use that medium in order to get to the target that you want to reach. And also the network is a place where you can apply protections, not only the endpoints that are involved in the security environment. What else? I would say that the students should be ready to hit the command line. I mean that some of the stuff that we do is not point and click. It's type the command that you want to execute and hit enter then, because some of the tools are just command line. We don't have graphical wrappers around them.
From your personal point of view, why should our Georgian students apply for this course, and what are the core benefits they will get?
Well, I particularly like this course due to the vendor neutrality. The other thing that would be beneficial for them is that it gives perspectives from both sides of the fence. As I mentioned already, I have jumped over the fence. I mean, the fence between defenders and attackers. So that's something that's something that I like. And it also summarizes everything in a nice way, which allows you to dig deeper once you find out what's interesting for you.
And what international certificate will our students get after successfully passing the exam at the end of the course?
The course is aligned with the CompTIA Security Plus certification, which is internationally recognized. So that's the international certificate that they can get. And the good thing is that there is one-to-one mapping between the course and the certification.
And what is the structure of the exam? Are there multiple choice questions or something else?
The exam has multiple choice questions, and the questions that are not multiple choice are kind of mimicking those labs that I mentioned for earlier, the ones where you should type in a few commands. You might have a few drag and drops, where you match certain terms with their meaning, or certain attacks with the means to protect against those attacks. So yeah.
And how will this certification help our students in their career, professional career?
You know, at some point of my career, I was thinking, well, why do I need to get certified, and can't I just learn the stuff that I want to learn, that's interesting to me, and not follow any structure given by any certificate vendor? But yeah, I was younger back then, and now I realize that the course and the certification itself gives you a structure around the knowledge that you need to build in order to be successful in your career. And doesn't make you specialized in a single thing that you might love to dig into, like for example, vulnerability scanning or automating some stuff. The certification helps you get the structure around all the things that are in the material, and tries to prevent you against skipping something, so that you don't get fast forward to being master of technology X. You also get to know your way around different other technologies.
Mm-hmm. And let's name some job positions that are suitable for the specialist who just completed such kind of course.
Well, the various types of security engineers. There are security engineers specializing in different security technologies. So once the course helps you pick the technology that you wanna use, then the next thing is to become a security engineer, or you might become a security analyst in order to investigate some incidents, or even it can get you a kickstart to the offensive side of things. Although there is a specialized course by CompTIA, which is called Pen Test Plus. So yeah, you might even consider that one.
Yeah, and let's show career path to our students, so
Sure.
they could have a clear image of what they
Sure.
can study for.
So that's the career path given by CompTIA that we can use. Or I might try to open the image in a new tab and zoom in then. That's actually the certification path. So it starts with IT fundamentals, CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and here we are with Security Plus. Then we have Security Analyst Plus and Security Professional as an end goal. If we try to map those into into topics that we have. So you can see that the CompTIA Security Plus is kind of an upper intermediate course, and then we go to the advanced and the expert courses in information security.
So we see that CompTIA Security Plus is in intermediate.
Yep.
Phase. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what besides information security, we see networking, cloud technologies.
Yep.
Hardware, service and infrastructure, IT management strategy, storage and data, web and mobile, software development.
Yep.
What is training? I see training, the last one.
Yeah, it's training indeed. So there is a different career path for, certification path for that one, where you should follow different certifications. So there is a certification if you want to get into training as well.
So, for example, some students finish successfully a CompTIA Security Plus, and what can be the next step for them according to this career?
Well, the security ones from CompTIA are the security analyst and the pen test plus. You can also take that one and then move into, if you want to stick into the CompTIA landscape, you can go to the security professional certification. So that's the highest step that you can get in the CompTIA realm, but you can also choose to get certified into something different, like certified security professional, the Cisco certified internet networking expert, etc.
So I see the beginner, novice, CompTIA, ITF Plus. Should our students have this certification before going to CompTIA Security Plus?
I would say no. I personally started with Network Plus and then moved to Security Plus. The A Plus and the IT fundamentals that you see on the left, are basic IT knowledge, which if the students have, like if they can power on their computer, they can put peripherals to the computer, like USB devices, Bluetooth devices, printers, etc. That's covered. And if they can probably install their own operating system on that computer, if they feel comfortable with this one, so we get the beginner stuff covered. Then we move to the intermediate one, where we mentioned that we already need networking experience in order to be successful with the Security Plus course, because yeah, we mentioned everything that's that we want to protect from in the security field is actually hitting the network first.
Okay, thank you very much. I think things became more clear for our students.
I hope so.
Yes, and can you share your story when you were in the beginning of your career? How such learning and certification influenced your career development?
Well, if you're in the start, you have no experience to prove to your future to your future employer. So the thing you can prove is actually the knowledge that you have in order to make that employer want you and compensate you for the knowledge that you have in form of salary that you expect at the end of each month. So the certification is the start that you want to have in order to prove your knowledge. As we mentioned, that's structured knowledge. You can also gather knowledge without following any certification path. But the benefit of the certification that it includes certain elements that you might not even consider if you prepare on your own in an unstructured way. So this helps you get something from everything and pick the one that you like the most. Apart from this, there are certain job roles where you need to be certified in order to get them, like the same way that you have to have some educational degree, like being a bachelor or a master in a certain field, especially the courses that are tied to some vendor technology. In that case, I don't mean CompTIA per se, because we mentioned that CompTIA is vendor neutral. But if I want to answer your question for the certifications in general, you have multiple vendors like Cisco, like Checkpoint, like Palo Alto, like Juniper. And for the companies that work with equipment from those vendors, it's of paramount importance to work with certified engineers from those vendors in order to be able to get attractive discounts from those vendors and be more beneficial when they sell equipment to the customers, because it's kind of a loop at the end. You have experienced people, you have certified people, they know how to achieve a given task in the right way, or there might be multiple right ways in a correct way that's technically sound. So the end customer that's paying for the equipment is actually happy because the equipment works as expected, because the certified people configured it. And if they have a problem, a certified employee might be able to assist with that problem faster because of the structure that he has learned how to apply in practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what would you recommend to all students in order then to get successfully certified?
Well, it doesn't happen without reading and without learning and without practicing. So you have to do all of those things. You have to do them daily. You have to take breaks as well, because it's not all about learning and practicing. It's just a good thing to to switch context between the stuff that you're doing, so that the things that you learn can settle, and you'll be able to put them in your long-term memory and recall them when you need them. And at the end, I think we are at the point where most of the code that the humanity would ever need is already written. Most of the technologies, the technologies would evolve, but the code is already there. Most of the new technologies reinvent something from old technologies. We see stuff re-emerging, like something that was developed 20 years ago, but apparently it was not developed at the right time to be picked up. Is now getting to the right moment to be picked up. So even if you learn now something now that doesn't get traction in the market, it might become beneficial at the future, where you would be the one recalling, back then when I started, there was something that seems similar to what I see now that's marketed as a new technology, but actually it's the same, but only a bit different. So
yeah, in other times.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. And how do you think should our students attend all the sessions?
Well, it would be the best if they could. They could, of course, skip some of them. They could learn by themselves, but I'm here to share experience that's not in the books. So I hope that's gonna be the added value for them if
and
they
in
attend the
this way
course.
they will be able to practice labs and learn more.
Indeed.
Yes, thank you very much, Kristiyan, for taking time to join us today and share your vision and experience with our students. We hope today's interview will help our audience to make the final decision whether this course is suitable for them or not. Y media sa intereso hijo. See you soon. Goodbye. Bye, Kristiyan. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.